That's better. If I can't hear myself talking, I know that I'm not actually broadcasting anything. But you couldn't hear that anyways because you would have to be watching an ad when the stream comes live. So just deal with it, really. Just deal with it. I am. I'm about to be live. I'm not live yet. You're probably watching an advertisement. You have image only. I figured that an ad was going to like come into there. So, you know, what can you do? There's that. Oh, that's thingy. What save did I want to be in? Win 2-5. Yeah, this is the right save for tonight. Dude, Slim, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing? Let me drink. I got to drink a lot more than I did last night. Last night I streamed for longer than anticipated because there were so many people egging me on. And I drank a lot less than I needed to. I was not doing good on my drinking last night. I blame chat, really. I always blame chat. When something goes wrong, it's like, chat, seriously? Why did you have my back? I'm busy over here doing things like streaming, and you're supposed to be telling me what to do. That's how this relationship works, right? That is absolutely how this relationship works. Dude, love the hate. 99, how's it going? Gav is here. Luis Palotto. Palotto. There's not an extra I in there. Yaz here. Dacky Jur is here. Who else? Insane Zedge. Insane Zedge, dude. I do appreciate you doing the favorite on the twittering thing over there. I do appreciate that. Blame chat. Hashtag blame chat. Hashtag blame chat. Dude, K26, how's it going? How's it going? Well, Anthony Skillabout, love the hate. K26, all coming in. Who else do we have? Daraway. Daraway. Aiden000. What's up, Aiden? Trouble. Streamer dies on camera. News at 9. Where is my Kerbal? Ooh, there's my Kerbal Space Program. The problem with the Kerbal Space Program is that it is not actually playing the music right now. So let's do that right quick. Let me fix that. Nobody wants to look at me. Let's look at KSP. There's a screen change. Welcome to KSP. Population us. We're changing the settings. I usually put this up at like 15%. There you go. Accept. Ah, yes. That's much more epic. That's much more epic. Having some actual Kerbal Space Program music in the background. Resume save. I didn't... Good... I'm so terrible. I even brought the program up. I should not chat. I shouldn't be allowed to chat with anyone until I set the right freaking... Kerbal Space Academy on orbit construction. On orbit ship construction. Oh, what did I say on the tweet? I can't remember. Save. Okay, refresh. All right, that's good. That's good. I'm so freaking terrible at this. I just show up and I just make things up. Oh my gosh. It says DOS is at the top with 0 viewers. Dude, Cybertech, how's it going? How's it going? I haven't tried the burn. I haven't tried the suicide burn counter yet, man. I need to. KSP, what's the deal? That's interesting. Why does my mouse not work in Kerbal Space Program? Why can't I click on anything in Kerbal Space Program? This is not looking good, honestly. Does anyone know? My position and size. All right, that works. So Kerbal Space Program is working. Or at least Blizzy's toolbar is working. That's working. The image viewer, that's Beetlejuice. Apparently, Beetlejuice is the current image. Let's go to, like, Dr. Pepper Hype or something instead. Yeah, that works. Why can't I... Has anybody ever run into this before? Carpet bomb the... That's boring, though. Everybody's done that. Bug! Unseeing whale! What is going on here? The Anno. No, there shouldn't be anything else going on. There shouldn't be anything else going on. But look, I can't actually scroll around the Space Center. Can I... I can time warp. But the time's not advancing. That doesn't look good at all. Why would that be happening? Does anyone know? Has anyone encountered anything like this? Seriously, Kerbal... I mean... Seriously, Kerbal Space Program? Can you leave the Space Center scene? No, look, I can. Sandbros, a kin can tune in right now, but, you know, what can you do? Restart my computer? Can I load a save? Can I quit to the main menu if I do this? Gosh. Nope, not cool, not cool. I may actually have to restart the game here, so just give me a second. Let's go back to full screen cam. What's up, Sambros? How's it going? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. You get that sometimes. All right, I just completely killed it. I totally killed it down. I did kill it down. I killed the entire game. You can go to VAB with the buttons. DOS, the game. Broken Time Warp isn't part of the Academy. It is tonight. Apparently, it is tonight. So let me see if I can't run that again and see if I get a different thing. I haven't installed any mods. I couldn't click it all. It wouldn't let me do anything. So who knows what the deal with that is, huh? Who knows what the deal with that is? Okay, that's fine. Let's watch it load up here. Nobody wants to watch me. There you go. Kerbal multiplayer, it's a bug conflict. I couldn't click it all. I did restart the game, K-Man. Mockmo, return to the main menu and load the game again. I get that sometimes. I completely killed the game and I'm starting it back up again. So let's see how that works. Hopefully, hopefully that works, because that's going to be totally annoying. I should have just stopped the entire stream. Hopefully. Dude, EK Mavericks, actually. How's it going? Blue 302 came in. Unseeing Whale. Who else? Sandbros. I know Sandbros a little bit. Calvin Coolman. Just wanting me to blow stuff up. Mockmo's here. K-Man. There's Calvin again. Mockmo. Unseeing Whale. Syacon. Dude, what's up, Syacon? How's it going? Gav. I already got those guys. Yeah. Alright. Daraway. Alright. Here is this. Let's load up another save and see what happens. Your body is ready for this. No IO, what's going on? No IO. Resume saved. Champagne. Continue. Don't you be froze on me. Survey says... Okay. I'm apparently good to go. That runway, though. Super hard mode. That runway. Here's what we're going to do. It is time for me to get started. It's 8 p.m. right now. Drink. You know that feel when it feels like .24 came out yesterday? Dude, Fukuda! What's going on? Wolf Dude, how's it going? Z... I don't even know how to say your name. I'm just going to call you Foes. Zfos Linux. Or EFOS Linux with X's on either end. I don't even know, dude. For Fried Rice, what's up? Simiclept. You forgot how fast the game loads. I actually do have quite a few mods. I just don't have a lot of part mods. Those take a lot of time to load. What's up? Haikiba KSP, that's how you pronounce it. I got that one right this time, I think. I'm good to go. Too many multi-twitching last night. Should have paid more attention to yesterday's KSA. You know something? You really should have. Plus, you shouldn't have watched it on multi-twitch, because multi-twitch is bad. It's very, very, very bad. Whatever. Here's what we're going to do. Excuse my voice. I need to get it fired up here. Yesterday, we built the DOS Simple Docking Craft, right? We built the Narwhal Station. We built the Bacon Station. Apparently, we were going to try and crash the two together so that we could figure out exactly when the Narwhal bacons. But after that, at the end of the stream, which was about 11 o'clock, I said, hey, let me do a quick dock right quick. Let me transfer some crew. Let me build a vessel that'll be really easy to dock, right? And we're going to take them up to the Bacon Station. Actually, let me go to the Bacon Station. We'll take them up to the Bacon Station. It'll be a little crew transport, nothing too fancy or anything like that. And we're just going to put some Kerbals on the Bacon Station, right? That's what we wanted to do last night. And so for the next 3 hours, we built a craft that was named the DOS Simple Docking Craft. Here's the Bacon Station. If you weren't around for last night, this right here was the KSA Bacon Station. Fuel at the bottom, juicy Kerbal middle, holding, what was it? 2 rings of 16, I think? Yeah, 2 rings of 16, so 32 Kerbals in there, plus all the rooms in the science lab / whatever you want to call them. What happens in orbit stays in orbit sort of deal. We put them together using these little construction drones. We've put some fuel in there, but we made a craft to transfer some Kerbals up, and we ended up with this thing. This thing right here. It was DOS's Simple Docking Craft. Don't ask why the escape pod there. That's the tachyon detection plume. It's new in .25. And it's also got a claw. It's got a docking port at the front. It's got a trunk. You can see we're actually docked with a trunk right now. But we actually built DOS's Simple Docking Craft. It carries 6 Kerbals, 4 passengers, 2 crew, and we got it up into orbit. We're here at the Bacon Station, right? And I've actually got another one flying around. Where is it at? Simple Docking Craft Mark II. No. This one right here. Simple Docking Craft Mark II, Switch 2. And it looks like this. Let me show you the features right quick, right? We've got the DOS Simple Docking Craft. It is, in fact, simple to dock because it handles like a freaking not pod racer. It really handles more like a Viper from Battlestar Galactica. It does like all sorts of flips and stuff. Right now it's full up with fuel, but when it's not full up with fuel, it turns on a dime. It RCS translates on a dime. It's got all sorts of cool features. Like I said, the tachyon detection plume or whatever this thing is over here, that is that thing. It's actually an escape tower, and it's completely empty of fuel. It's got a claw on it. We can open and close the claw. I don't really know what that's for. It's also got this thingy here, whatever that's for. That's for docking, apparently. It's also got a trunk. It actually looks like a really cool, like, gangster moonshiner's car or something, because the trunk opens up, and you can actually dock it by the trunk. And so we got to talking last night. We were like, oh my gosh, I wonder if it had enough Delta V to go interplanetary. Totally full. The craft itself has like 2,300 Delta V. I think if it was totally fuel, it would be just around 2,400 almost. The craft itself has that much, but that's really borderline for getting out to Duna or somewhere like that. So I got to thinking. Some people yesterday were asking me about on-orbit construction. Some people asked me to do some more docking and rendezvous practice, talk through docking and rendezvous. And then we were talking about this guy and seeing if we could get it to Duna. Just a little shuttlecraft sort of thing, getting out to Duna, right? And so for tonight's Kerbal Space Academy, I was going to toss all three of those things together and see if I could add something to him while we're in orbit that can get him out to Duna. So we're going to do two things. The beginning of the Kerbal Space Academy session, that's a bad word. The beginning of the session is going to be designing something that we can attach to this guy in order to get him extra Delta V to go interplanetary. And then the end of the session, the last basically 2 hours of the session, are going to be building a much more larger, complicated ship that we actually assemble in orbit before it goes on. So I'm going to cover some things like docking ports and ships that bend, and multi-port docking, where you actually dock something together with 2 or 3 or 4 ports at the same time. We're going to be building a bigger ship. Maybe we have a crew module that we dock to the rest of it. We're going to be using some of the on-orbit construction techniques that we used to put the station together last night. But we are going to build a big, specifically interplanetary ship on orbit this evening. That's the plan for Kerbal Space Academy. So we're going to be covering docking and rendezvous. We're going to be covering lifter design, because we always cover that, right? Anytime we need to get something to space, we got to cover lifters. We're going to do some guest tests and revise on this guy right here to come up with some concepts that we need to learn in order to build ships in orbit. And then we are going to build a big ship on orbit. We're going to fuel it up. We're going to take it somewhere interplanetary. Stream's probably going to take about 3 hours tonight to get through all that. Then we'll have a little bit of free play at the end where we kind of play around. But that is the plan for this evening's Kerbal Space Academy. As part of the spiel, I'm Das Valdez. We're at Kerbal Space Academy. You know, every night I cover a different topic, some sort of different topic. And tonight it's going to be on-orbit construction of larger, more complicated vessels, right? But I haven't scripted this. I put these 3 concepts together. I totally made it up. Honestly, I made it up in the car about 5 minutes before I sent out the tweet that said what I was going to do. I was sitting at gymnastics practice, and I was waiting for my daughter to get done gymnastics, and I was sitting there, what am I going to scream tonight? I should tweet it out. And I came up with combining these things together because it's going to cover a lot of really good concepts: docking and rendezvous, lifters, ports, docking ports, multi-port docking like people had asked, interplanetary travel. It's going to cover a lot of cool stuff, and we'll put it all together into this on-orbit construction. But I just came up with that a little while ago. I don't have a script. I don't have bullet points I'm going to talk about, and I need y'all to help me out. So what I want you to do as we're going along, if you have ideas or if you have questions about something I'm doing, like, Das, why did you do this? Das, how did you get the trunk there? Das, why aren't you clicking on the trunk when it's opening and closing? Since we're at Kerbal Space Academy, feel free to ask those questions. You can ask the questions, and there's 2 ways you can make sure that I'll answer them. You can either put the word Das, D-A-S, in the chat. You see it in the chat right now. You can see right here, Miller Time 610 said Das, KSA, FTW, whatever that means. Pretty much sure that's for the win. Actually, I know that's for the win because it's on the side of my graphics card. Das, KSA for the win. And you see, whenever he put the word Das right here, it actually highlighted what he said. Same thing, Ride Car 2, whoop, Das is live. Das is live. Das, I have an idea. Make a space plane. That's a different stream. Monev, I'm going to be doing space planes tomorrow, I believe. Space planes tomorrow. Man on fire, what's going on? So, what we are going to do, I need you to ask me questions. I will answer your questions. If it gets highlighted in chat in red like you see in scrolling by, every now and then I take a little bit of a break. I put it in screensaver mode, which basically just means I turn off all this. That's screensaver mode. And when I'm in screensaver mode, I'm typically highlighting chat, I'm reading chat, I'm answering questions. It doesn't even matter if it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, because I respond to all the questions in my chat. That's what I do. That's how I roll. So, without further ado, I think we talked about everything else. We did that. We did this. I'm watching there. Let me roll back let me roll back here and see what we are going to do. Let me see if I missed any questions. Let me give everybody shout-outs and that sort of stuff. Sambros, when can a kid tune in? Right now. No, don't sleep. Kerbal Space Academy. You're actually in school. It's like night school for the kids. All right, we got that figured out. Couldn't click it all. I got that. No IO, what's going on? Calvin Kuhlman, your body's ready. Good for you. Pyrofire, what's up? Seems interesting. Good luck. I hope you learned some stuff tonight. Simiclipped, how fast it loads. Yes, Das, Fukuto, what's going on? Eve Mavericks, alright, got those. Rooster Wing, what's up? What's up? Pilot Cookie is here. I'm not putting any cookies in the craft. I don't have that mod. I told you, Pilot Cookie, if you make me a cookie mod, I will send cookies into space, but stop freaking asking me to put cookies in space. That was fast. That was really fast, actually, because my headphones are going to die in like 2 seconds. And here's what I'm doing. It's so annoying. So, welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. Who knew that there was only that much battery left in that? That much battery. That's a little off topic, but I'm having trouble getting the grabber claw to attach. Dude, explodey goodness, check it out. Whenever you grab things with a claw, it only has a certain angle that it can attach at, so try to get it as flat as possible. If you try to attach it at an angle like this, it won't be as good at attaching. You need to get it as flat as possible. So if you're trying to get an asteroid or a part or something like that, make sure that the part isn't doing like this. You're not attaching like if it's a circle, you're attaching to the side of the circle. You do got to kind of get it flat in order to make it attach. Make sure you do that if you're having trouble getting the claw to attach. Again, I'm just reading the chat. I'm making sure I respond to everything. I am just making sure. Steve-O-Matt, what's up? There was Pilot Cookie. I talked to you about the cookies. Das, Jax9 Hammer. Das, I tried to install Kerbal Engineer, but it didn't work. Huh. You tried to install Kerbal Engineer, but it didn't work. Tell us what you did when you tried to install it. Type in chat what you were trying to do. Basically, make sure... I don't think Kerbal Engineer actually comes with 2 game data folders. But if it's in there, it should be working. Tell us what sort of symptoms you're having, and we'll see if we can figure it out for you. EJ Vander, scare stream last night. What are you up to after docking with the station? I shut it down after I docked with the station. I was getting a little bit tired there. Kerbal Juicy Middle. Juicy Kerbal Middle. Nice. Let's see here. Question. Have you done a lesson on large complicated ships versus small simplistic ships? We're going to do a complicated ship tonight. Calvin Kuhlman, we are going to do a complicated ship tonight. I typically stick with the simpler ships. I definitely stick with the simpler ships because we're trying to go after the basic concepts. What a lot of people do in Kerbal Space Program is like right out of the gate, they toss together this huge complex ship and they can never get in orbit. They're like, what the heck? What's going on? So... that is the problem with that sometimes. Just stick with the smaller ships until you get the basics down, and then we'll, like tonight, we'll go with the bigger ships. It's a starfighter. It does look like a starfighter with its tachyon detection plume. Dude, Monev, what's going on, Monev? Thanks for dropping by. Das, that's great. I need all of these. What else do we have? T-Game, what's up? What's up, T-Game? Wait. Where is this? KSA for the win. All right, we got that one. Das is live. Those are the ones I use as examples. Das, I have an idea. Makes a space plane. Monev, I've made lots of space planes. In fact, I've got the Mighty Duck up on Craft, Kerbal X thing. And we actually did the full design the day that .25 came out. I converted an older space plane that we made with .24 parts, and I converted it on up to .25 parts. But we do have the KSA Mighty Duck that's up on the Kerbal X website. And we did the entire thing like that. Now, it wasn't as cool as your plane that fits in the cargo bay, but at least I had the engine setting correctly so it would go into orbit more easily. I'm just kidding with you, dude. I am just kidding with you. I've still got that plane in this save right here, Monev. I've got that plane in orbit around Lathe. In one of these days during a free play, I'm going to take it down and see how it does. I'm sure it will do just fine. Will you be doing the new .25 parts? I've already done that for Fried Rice. I was just talking about that. I have already done that. It's actually up on YouTube, I believe. I'll see if I can find a link in a little bit. Raging Hyena, what's up? You're back again. Speed Kerman. I don't recognize your name, but welcome to the stream, man. Random question, do I watch NFL? I've never played NFL. Have I played NFL football? No. What are we even talking about? Is NFL something else? I don't even know what you're talking about now. We got that one. Munzie, what's up, Munzie? blue, body's oh gosh. How do you turn up the lighting in the game? Insane Edge, there's a mod called Ambient Light Adjustment. It's by Blizzy. Ambient Light Adjustment. And it allows you to turn the lighting up in the game. I don't think I do have that one. If you scroll down the channel, that'll be in my channel. It'll say Ambient Light Adjustment under the, I think it's the utility mods or something like that. That is absolutely a useful mod. It is absolutely a useful mod. Man on Fire 42, doesn't want to build a Minotaur. Your ship setup seemed OP. Wish me luck. Can you get more EVA propellant from monopropellant? You can actually get infinite EVA propellant if you just have the Kerbal reboard the pod. So all you have to do is get back inside, get right back out of the pod again, and he'll be totally full on monopropellant. You actually have infinite Delta V if you have a Kerbal and a pod. You can go anywhere with a Kerbal and a pod. Because every time you get back in, you can refill your monoprop, and then you get back out, you use your jetpack again. Das, what did I miss? Not much, Spaceman. I just started. KSA is the best part of your day, dude. Miller time. I appreciate that. Maybe you should change your name to KS8 time. 610. Just kidding. Hey, Das in chat. What's up, Bam Set D? Das, is that trunk dock a part or did you make it? Never seen it before. It is a part. We repurposed a part. It is a part. It's National Football League, and I'm a new viewer here, but long-time TSP player. I got you. I know what NFL stands for. FTDT Dino. What's going on? Let's get started. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let us have a look here, y'all. We're going to look, and we have... What? It's already follows coming in. Guys, I just got started, dude. Steve099. Thanks for rolling, Kerbal Space Academy. And Josh in Derry. Is that Josh in Derry? Like, Derry's a place in England, isn't it? You're up late if you're Josh in Derry. But if you're just Josh in Derry, or you're like joking with Derry, or whatever, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. Let's have a look at this guy, right? So looking at this guy, what I want to do is go down to the VAB and design something that's going to increase his Delta V without completely killing his thrust to weight. So one of the first things that I see that I could do here is just set him up with a drop tank. Just set up, and hey guys, if you want this craft right here, you can actually download it. If you want to, you can play along. You can do the same sort of stuff. Here is this, link to the craft file. This craft is specifically, let me open it up in a window. This craft is specifically the, where's it at? Mooner Trainer, Exxon Dust Valdez, Simple Docking Craft Mark II. There we go. Here is a direct link to the Simple Docking Craft Mark II, right there. If you want to download it, Duracell, you're from Finland. It's 3 a.m. Are you freaking kidding me? That's awesome. Tesla Max, I've got a display picked out. I need to order it, and I need to order it in such a way that it arrives when I'm here. I'm out of town this weekend, and I did not want to order it and have it arrive until I got back on Tuesday. So, I've got it all set up, but I didn't want to order it because it's got to get here when I'm actually here. So, dude, stayed up till 1 a.m. EU to watch this stream, and yes, I'm in Britain. Dude! Dino, FTD Dino, dude, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Guys, all the people over there on Wednesdays, I'm not able to stream an earlier session. Wednesdays is one of the days where I have other things to do going on. But I'm trying on like Tuesdays and Thursdays to get in a little bit earlier so I can get an earlier stream and you guys can watch a little bit earlier instead of having to stay up till 1 or 2 or 3 a.m. But I totally appreciate y'all for doing that. Anyways, there's a link to that direct craft that I tossed in the chat. It's scrolling by pretty fast. But what I want to do is get going with the Space Academy here. We spent about 15 minutes doing the intro and stuff. What I want to do is figure out how I can get this guy to go interplanetary. I don't want lower than a 0.5 thrust to weight, though. So let's have a look at him. And just looking at him, I know that I have the trunk. I've already showed off the trunk. Right like this. And I know that that trunk is right there on the center of mass. It's not off the side or anything. So the first thing that I think is that I could totally attach a drop tank to this guy. A drop tank would be absolutely awesome. Not only that, I could probably deliver the drop tanks with a construction bot. I wouldn't really need the construction bot, but I could do that. I could totally do that. So let us see. What else? I could do a drop tank. I could also put a bigger pusher stage on there if I wanted even more. Let's go down to the VAB. Let's start playing. The topic is on-orbit construction. We've got this existing craft. We're actually going to upgrade him. That was... What is going on here? Dude, Taxos? You're still in the list from yesterday, dude. You did 2 donations yesterday, Taxos. Are you kidding me? It's not like it costs $5 to attend a session. Hey, Das, or here, Das, giving you $5 again today. You don't have to do that every stream, dude. I totally appreciate you, but good night, Irene, man. Starting it off with $5. I appreciate you, Taxels. I do appreciate you. At the end of every week, I'm adding up all the donations that come in. So if it's $5 here and there, I add it all up, and I'll bump you up in the tiers if you get to a new tier. I've got the tiers down at the bottom. If it was your first time donating this week, I'll get you added to the donator list down at the bottom. I do appreciate all the support, guys. I absolutely appreciate it. And Taxels, dude, I'm going to, like, block you from donating. And this $5 a day stuff, man. I really do appreciate you, though. Let us continue going here. I am going to go down to the VAB. We're going to see how much Delta V we can get in this guy. We're going to add a drop tank to him. So let's go back to the Space Center. Bartgun. That guy's name is Bartgun. That's actually a pretty cool name. Bartgun. You thought about donating, but I spent that money on Dr. Pepper. Dude, tell Dr. Pepper that. Tell Dr. Pepper that. Did I put a fuel line from the trunk to the center of the craft into the engines? If not, then just adding a drop tank don't work. T-Game, that's a good point. That is a very good point. We didn't do that. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's zoom in here. And let's go open up this craft. That is an excellent point. We'll have to look if we... I know we don't have a fuel time. I know that it's radially attached, and I know that some things don't actually work. So maybe we'll have to put it on the gantry and check to see if that part transfers fuel when radially attached. Some parts do, some parts don't. We will have to see. Where's the Easy Lander? It's actually the DOS Easy Docking Craft, I think. Yeah, DOS Simple Docking Craft. There we go. And we'll go with a Mark II. That's good. What's up with the claw? What was up with the claw? The claw is just there for a reason. You know, because reasons. And the... Oh, this is the Mark II. Oops. Let's open up the Mark III. I'm sorry, but your craft is in another castle. Hang on a second. The Mark III is the easy one. Alright, this is the one like this. This one's a lot easier to deal with. So we need to run a test, right? T-Game said that we might not have fuel crossfeed on this part. Some parts do fuel crossfeed when radially attached, some parts don't. For example, this little part right here, this little RCS fuel tank, if I do that, and then I put one of these little OP78S engines on here, 7S engines, that engine will actually get fuel. Because this part, when it's radially attached, does crossfeed. But other parts, such as these guys, do not do crossfeed in the same manner. If I put him like that and I put the engine on him, he wouldn't get fuel. So it all depends. It all depends on the part that we used. And I actually don't know the answer with this guy. I really do not know the answer as to whether or not he has fuel crossfeed. I know these guys on the end don't, but there's nothing that actually tells me if being surface attached gives me crossfeed, because what we're using is this trunk right here. So let's see. We're going to have to run a test. We are going to have to run a test. So let's save this as the Mark III IP. Mark 4P. There we go, the Mark III IP, so that I can play with it. Let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the lifter off. It's actually an SSTO and then it lows. What's with the crooked boosters? The boosters aren't crooked. All 4 small people are watching? 4 small people? Did you get another one, Sandbros? What's up, everybody in Sandbro land? How's it going? We're building a rocket here. We're going to try and get this one. The docking port does, but the fuel tanks on the side of the hubs won't pull fuel. I see. I gotcha. So even if we do that, they won't pull the fuel. So a drop tank, you guys, you got my back. You do have my back. The docking port will, but it still won't pull fuel from there. It does have that stuff up there, so we could still do it, but we would have to basically carry as much in the drop tank as we have in these 2 tanks. So let me show you how it's gonna work. Let me show you how it's gonna work. Dude, Abel, what's going on? What's going on? I took what off? You gotta give me context. Remember, you gotta give me context. Some parts do and some parts do not. We'll check this out. There was another donation already. Dude, KP Wayne! Are you kidding me? KP Wayne, dude, 25 bucks. That's like 10 months of subscriptions. Oh my gosh. You guys are freaking awesome. KP Wayne, I know that's not the first time you've done something like that. KP Wayne says, an excellent workaround for avoiding being blocked for daily donations is to donate weekly. And so he's tossed in a $25 donation, dude. 5 days times $5 a day. 25 bucks. KP Wayne, dude, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And if this keeps up, I may have to update the donor list a little bit sooner than this weekend. Because I got some people that deserve some shout outs from last night. We've already got Taxaws and KP Wayne for this evening. Guys, I really do appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Let's do this. Continuing on, I'm going to open up the trunk, and here's a trick you can use, right? Here is a trick that you can use to actually play around with docking things together. I can put parts on here in the VAB. I'm going to need some sort of spacer part here, I think. So let's put a little fuel tank, you guys, with the donations. Gosh. Ay, ay, ay. I do appreciate you. I always feel like I can't ever say enough whenever that sort of stuff happens. I can't say enough as how much I appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is try to get these two things to dock. And you've seen what I've done. I've put a decoupler here. I've put this little fuel tank here. I put something underneath the docking port. And for my next trick, I'm actually going to grab a docking port and put it like this in such a way that I hope I can get it lined up. So let's see if I can actually get it lined up. That's going to be close. Surface attach is going to help me out a lot as well. That's not exactly right. And it's not going to have to be exact. It's just going to have to be close enough because this is just a test. This isn't something that we're planning on doing for a long time. There we go. That looks pretty darn close right there. That does look pretty darn close. Totally watching this while doing my laundry. What? What's the difference between watching and subs? I just make some stuff up. EK Mavericks. I just make it up. If I was partnered with Twitch, I would actually have a subscription button down there, and you could subscribe to the channel for $4.99 a month. The trick is when it goes through Twitch, Twitch keeps half, and I would get half. So whenever I say people subscribe when they do direct donations like that, it's because a $5 direct donation is the same as subscribing via Twitch for 2 months. So that's why I say like a $5 donation is like a double subscription. That's the same I would get if you spent $10 through Twitch. That's the difference. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's absolutely free to hang out here and do everything that we're doing. I'd really appreciate the donations, but I want to make it absolutely clear that it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, that guy didn't donate, you're an idiot. That is absolutely not how we do this. I do appreciate the donors, but everyone is welcome to hang out and do Kerbal Space Academy. Absolutely. I am trying to get set up so that I can do this as a job and actually make a living off of it. And I'm probably a very long road from that, but when the donations come in, it makes it a lot more realistic that I will be able to convince people that that is an actual thing, as opposed to just, dude, you just want an excuse to play video games. So I really do appreciate it. I'm Kerbal Space Academy. That's what I want to do. That's the total wrong way, isn't it? Yes, it is. So you see what I've done there? I've just lined those docking ports up close enough for now. Now I'm going to put a fuel line going from there up to the docking port. You can do that, by the way. You can actually attach a fuel line to a docking port like that. That is a legitimate strategy. And what we want to do now is go out there and see if there's anything that we can do. I have a feeling that this isn't actually going to do anything. But let's go out there, and we know already that this craft is not going to automatically pull fuel. So I'm just going to put some of these guys on. Let's put something down here. Did you know you could do this? Did you know that you could actually come down to the bottom and just put one pointing up to hold up a part? That's another thing you can do. So we have a feeling that this isn't going to work. I also have a feeling that that may have some trouble actually connecting. So what I may have to do is actually put more on this, like in 4x symmetry or something. 3x symmetry will be fine. And let's go see if we can get this thing to dock out on the pad. I'm going to save this one, I'm going to launch it, and let's see if we can get these docking ports to connect out at the pad. Listening to DOS. What? Taxaws. I just love supporting people that do cool stuff on Twitch. That's why I keep giving money. Dude, Taxaws, every time you do that, it makes it more likely that I can keep doing this sort of stuff on Twitch. I mean, I've got to pay my bills and that sort of stuff, but if I could pay my bills by doing this sort of stuff and doing Kerbal Space Academy on Twitch, I would be all about it. I would be all about it, and I absolutely appreciate your support, man. Absolutely. So you see what I'm doing? I'm actually just going to, I don't think this is going to be docked right now. They're too far apart. Oh, no, it is docked. It's actually already docked. The game, even though there's some sunshine in between there, the game already, it's nighttime. There's no sunshine. Even though the game already thinks that that's like that, the game not attached. The game thinks that those two docking ports are docked, and they're probably trying to pull themselves together. So what we would actually do, let's see if we can't light the engines. I don't even have. I was going to toss that craft, like release it and see if it would balance on that docking port. But I'm just going to go ahead and light the engines. Will I have to do this? I'll have to do this anyways. So we'll just go ahead and release those and light the engines. What? Whatever, man. All I want to do, we know that right now that's not going to be, it's actually acting like it's not a, oh, it undocked. Dang it, it thinks that it undocked whenever that happened. It was docked, and then when I blew those things, it was no longer docked, so that's annoying. Is this one blown? Yep, that's showing up as debris. Let's go ahead and just drop this onto the docking port and see if we can't get it to dock. This is exactly how NASA does it, by the way. I bet you I would have had to get it a little bit further away. That is not a good test. Could I? How much fuel do I have? What's my thrust to weight? I don't think that I have enough thrust to weight to actually lift myself up. But do I have enough thrust to weight to get these things to dock? I feel like the magnets are moving around. It would be better if these parts weren't here. So, we could. There's a couple different things that we could do. One of them would be to sit here and burn this engine. Yeah, that's not one of the things that we could do. That is disaster. Luckily, that part right there is pretty resilient. Let's take it back and see if there's something else that we can do. So let's go revert flight, back to vehicle assembly. And I think we know the answer to this. I think we already know the answer. The problem is, there's not really a way to do that. Nothing actually exploded. It did explode. Gene, what's going on? And boom goes the dynamite. Nice. I could actually give this thing more thrust to weight by just taking a lot of fuel out like that. And now, could we make these things disappear as well? I bet you I could blow them up. Let's put separation charges on them. Just to blow them up. Again, we are in the guess, test, and revise phase of Kerbal Space Academy right now. We are trying to learn something about the parts we are using. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to try to blow... Why don't I just put these things on here? I'm actually going to try to blow those tanks up by using these separatrons. There was another donation. Guys, 2601 from Awesome Abel. 2601. Hey DOS, you're super awesome. Here's a little something so you can get that voice modifier. Dude, Awesome Abel, thank you so much for the donation, man. 2601, you like had to one-up everybody, I guess, with the 2601. Or is 2601, does that mean something? Let me know in chat if that means something. I do appreciate it, though. I absolutely appreciate the support, Awesome Abel. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Alright, let me stage these things correctly. See if we can't blow these things up. And then, there we go. There we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Everything else is good. Then we're going to blow these things up as well if we need to. And lastly, we'll leave that stuff in there. Alright, let's see if we can get it to dock now. We'll blow those pieces off. We'll do all sorts of explosionations here. Wait, that's not good, is it? Well, we'll see if it works. Save it. Launch it. Let's see if we can't get this thing to dock. 10 out of 10 on the kaboom. Nice. 2602. Or 42. Knocked his looks. What's going on, dude? What's going on? Foxhound Ghost, what's up? DOS, will we ever be doing asteroid mining or bringing them to orbit? Yes, Moneyman, yes, that is something that I'm going to try. I did some stuff. I got really frustrated with some claw bugs in the last release. I put it aside for a while, and I am going to come back to it one day. That is very interesting that it used to think that it's docked, and now it doesn't think that it's docked. But let's see if we can't blow these fuel tanks up by pressing spacebar first. Is this the right ones? Nope, that wasn't enough to blow them up. Dang it. Now is it docked, though? Yes, now it says it's docked. Okie dokie. So if I actually light the engines, I don't even care that they're going to blow through those things. I just want to light the engines and see if this works, right? So let's just light the engines. Is this going to be the right button? Yep. Interesting. Why are the engines not firing? It says that they just went. Oh, there we go. There we go. Alright, so that is definitely not pulling fuel out of there. It's definitely pulling fuel out of there. We know why. We know because there's no fuel lines from here to here. So this fuel line we don't even need if we do a drop tank. What else do we need to know? I know I could blow these things up. That's awesome. Ah, but it looks like it undocked whenever we did that. That's not good. No. Oh, buddy. Welp. That's not good. Can I land it? Why did that happen? I landed it fine, and then that piece is... What is that? How did that blow up? I think I'm a little bit done with this. I think I'm done with this. Here's why, right? We already know that there's no fuel lines going from the middle out to the sides, just like Monev pointed out, right? We know that there's no fuel lines going from the sides of the middle to the middle side. So even if I get this attached here, it won't automatically pull fuel out of this. However, we do know that these tanks each carry 360. So 360 times 2 would be 720. So if I put a drop tank that has 720 back there in the back, I could actually use all the fuel out of these engines, then refuel them, and then drop the drop tank and continue upon my merry way. That is a legitimate strategy. We could absolutely do that. So let's go into the VAB and see how we can make that work. Let us see how we can make that work. How did I blow up? The most common question in KSB, dude. Hi, Kiba. That's awesome. That's awesome. It is. It is. The landing really did look soft. It bounced and then it exploded. What's up, Zalmain? Who pressed the self-destruct button? Alright, so all of these shenanigans, I'm not even going to worry about this stuff anymore. We don't care about any of this stuff. The craft will hover in the VAB. And what I want is something that I can use as a drop tank back here. Is there some way to simulate it? There is. Let me show you how I can simulate what I'm doing here. I could actually put one of these on him. See how I just put that little cubic octo strut there? And then I could build my drop tank onto the back of it. It's not going to be actually docked, right? But we're just guest testing and revising. We're designing this drop tank so that we can add it to the craft in orbit, on orbit. So we've got that. Where's the fuel tank that carries 720? I believe it is this one. Yep. So that one there is a full refuel for the engines. Let's see how that affects us. Let's see how that affects us. We're not going to be hitting it with exhaust anywhere, which is a good thing. It leaves us at a 0.55 thrust to weight. So that's at 0.47 thrust to weight. So I'm okay with that. I don't want it to really be lower than 0.5. Overzealous range safety officer. It looks soft with a W in it, man. It's a tachyon flux detector thing. Could you, man? It's a tachyon flux detector thing. Ah, yes. Is overzealous range safety officer a meme? It should be. It should be. So now I've got a couple things, and I'm just simulating it here, right? I'm just simulating it. We already know that we don't have fuel lines going out. So what we're going to do is we're going to burn all the fuel out of these tanks, then we're going to completely refuel it like this, right? So I can simulate how much total delta V I'll get from that by doing this. Putting fuel lines from there up to the engines. You see I did that with 2x symmetry, right? And now it says that we're going to get 2134 delta V in atmosphere. We're going to be doing a transfer in space. So in space it says we'll have 2775. However, even that's not exactly right? That is not exactly right. And I'm wondering, Cybertech, I'm wondering here, Cybertech, if Kerbal Engineer will appropriately simulate this. Because I know Kerbal Engineer likes to split things up using these stack separators, right? Either a stack separator or a radial decoupler, some sort of radial decoupler, or some sort of decoupler. So I wonder if I put that on, will it allow me to do this in 2 stages? So if I've got that, and I put 2 engines down there, will it show me the delta V from both stages? It says that we've got 1753 delta V there, and I don't think that that's right. I don't think that that's telling me the truth. Because it should be pulling it from here first, and then pulling it from these tanks. 2876 delta V. I don't think that that's how much delta V we would have. Let's see here. Cybertech. Wait, Algae, what's going on? Put it in a decoupler, then it will do it right. But I don't believe this, because the craft already has 2300, and I don't think doubling the fuel on a craft this small would only give it that much extra delta V. So I'm pretty sure that this is not a Blue. I've actually got it. I've got that mod. Thanks though. I do have the mod that allows you to do that stuff. I'm not sure that this is calculating this correctly, because we'll burn the main engines, and I have a feeling, I don't know. Empty the side tanks. Oh, the side tanks are partly empty, dude. Pyrofire. Pyrofire has my back. That right there, dude. Pyro. You, sir, have my back, dude. You are the winner for this evening already, because the side tanks, I took a lot of fuel out. So this is correct. That was the fact that the side tanks did not have as much fuel in them. That'll actually, that's about 100 delta V to carry that. I'm not going to worry about that. Dude, Pyrofire. I like it when chat has my back. I absolutely. Yep, Speed Kerman got it there too. Did anybody else? Yep, T-Game did it as well. All right, T-Game looks like he said it first. So it looks like it was T-Game was the first one to mention that. In any event, I absolutely totally. Yeah, T-Game gets the award. You're right. I always just look at the chat. It was Pyros that I saw. But it looks like T-Game said it first. Now we're good to go. And in fact, we could actually take our ballast. This is for RCS ballast. We could fill this up as well and turn it off. That's 3506. Oh, there's no way for that fuel to actually get out to the sides. That's why. So that fuel up there, that's just extra Delta V that we would actually have. But really, we're going to have even more Delta V. Because right now, there's no way. There's no fuel lines to go from the inside to the outside. Very interesting. Aha, and I think we had it right about there for balance purposes. That's okay. That was just a ballast tank that we could use to balance out the heavy weight of this pod back here so that our RCS could stay balanced right in the middle of these big fuel tanks. That's what that guy's for. So if I do this, guys, this is... What is that? Are you freaking kidding me? Gene. Gene SW, dude. I've had a blast watching you stream and grow as a KSP streamer over the past 2 weeks. You totally deserve this, DOS. And Gene sets up a freaking insane donation. 100, dude, Gene. Oh my gosh, dude. Gene. Yeah, where is my OBS? Guys, let me tell you something. Hang on a second. Let me tell you something. Gene, dude, that was a ridiculous donation. You don't have to do stuff like that. Now, go full screen because that's ridiculous, dude. You're basically subscribed for, like, life, right? And I don't expect any one person to carry the weight. If everybody did $5, like, that's awesome, right? But I don't expect any one person to do that sort of stuff, man. And I totally appreciate it. But I'm really trying to get set up to see if I can't do this as a living, and stuff like that really helps me justify the amount of time. I mean, it takes a really lot of time to do it. And I want to make a website and have curriculum on it and have all it just tie it in with real stuff. At some point, I want to go talk to NASA, right? I'd love to get somebody from NASA in here actually, like, talking on the stream or something. It doesn't have to be like an astronaut or whatever, but whenever stuff like that happens, Gene, dude, and everybody else that donates, that really pushes me closer to the freaking goal. And I really, really do appreciate it, man. I mean, I go full screen, I'd like pause the entire screen because I absolutely, positively appreciate that stuff. So thank you very much. I'll never be able to say enough. But what I will do, because of what you said in your note, I'm going to keep on streaming. And we'll get up. We're going to build this vessel in orbit. We'll do more Kerbal Space Academies. We're going to do more tomorrow. We'll do the boot camps. We'll do the whole thing. Because with support like that, man, I can't see myself stopping doing that. Gene, I really appreciate that. So, let's get back and actually build some stuff. Because if not, I'm going to, like, I don't even know. I'm going to have to go change my camera settings so I don't look red on the camera. Let's go back to small screen mode. Like that. You guys totally rock. You guys are absolutely awesome. Oh my goodness gracious. Did I miss anything else? Keep on trucking. I am going to truck. Hancock Gaming, good games. If you need a web developer, nudge me. Ridecar, careful. Careful. Don't cry on you. I'm not going to cry on you. Dude, hype and tens of tens. You're going to break DOS again. I definitely got broken. Yeah, yes. Oh my gosh. Alright, guys. Let's keep getting this. Guys, I have a part-time job right now. I'm unemployed from my full-time job. I used to be a software developer administrator sort of thing. It's been a long time since I was a developer, but I had to stop doing that job for reasons. And I do a part-time job now. I teach kids science programs, right? But this is awesome. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Let me shut up and keep going before I get myself in trouble here. All right. All right. Somebody Tesla Max, dude. Tesla Max, you are awesome. Get more resources. Lobby Dr. Pepper Snapple, and I like watching you get emotional. And your name, Ryan, dude. Tesla Max, thank you for the $10 donation, dude. I appreciate it. I will get more resources. I appreciate you sent me some links about Dr. Pepper Snapple sponsorships. my goal, my plan is right now, after I get over 2,000 followers, I'm going to do things like apply for Twitch and apply for sponsorships and see if I can't get some advertising and that sort of stuff. I'm going to 2,000 is like my milestone to do that, so I think we're really close to that. But I appreciate it there, man. We need more struts. I require struts because I'm falling apart on the launch pad. Oh my gosh, dude. Let me keep going here. Let me keep going, guys. I appreciate y'all. I really do appreciate y'all. I really, really do appreciate y'all. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's all I can say. I appreciate you. Oh my gosh. He's wobbling a bit. I want to get caught up with chat. We're talking about building interplanetary crafts. We're talking about interplanetary crafts. Let me make sure I got everything. Gene SW, dude, I hope you never stop, DOS. It's great to see somebody follow their dream. I didn't even know this was my dream, Gene. I was doing things in Minecraft, and I was like, you know, I could totally teach kids actual school curriculum in Minecraft. What is going on here? Is this some sort of follow chain all of a sudden? I'll get all the follows all of a sudden here. What is happening? I don't even know what's going on there. But I don't even know what I was saying anymore. You guys are like breaking DOS here. Guys, I'm trying to do a Kerbal Space Academy. I'm trying to teach like on-orbit construction. Oh my gosh. Did I get raided? Who raided me? Are we getting raided? What is with all the hypes? It may be that it was Bala. It was someone's botting me. All these people are talking in chat though. Guys, if you just followed, toss something in chat. Let me know you're a real person. Let me know you're a real person. What's the 2K follower hype thing? Yeah. Go DOS. What is going on? Twist breaks DOS the game. No, you're killing him. I was looking. I was trying to see if I could teach kids actual curriculum. I actually got a copy of my daughter's curriculum for her second grade school last year, and I actually took some of the curriculum and I mapped out how I could translate the curriculum into Minecraft, so you could actually teach people actual real-world school curriculum in Minecraft. And it's really awesome because I did some tests with my daughter. Not tests, right? Like she's a lab rat or whatever. But I would like take her vocabulary words and I would build redstone contraption in Minecraft, and she would like have a multiple choice thing, and she would have to choose her vocabulary word. If she got it correct, it would like give her a reward, like give her not a diamond or something, right? But it would give her rewards. And if she got it wrong, it would set her on fire or drown her or something. But you know, it was all in the game, right? It was like risk versus reward sort of thing, and it was absolutely awesome. And I just sat down, I was like, I wonder if I could stream this stuff, and I found Twitch because of something Casper VLD put up, and I was like, I can totally, dude, thank you JLW for the test there. I tried to go and say like, wow, maybe I could do this with Kerbal Space Program, because Casper VLD posted up this how to stream KSP thing, and I totally, just on a whim started streaming Kerbal Space Program and did this Kerbal Space Academy thing. Could I teach via Twitch, right? And it's been going really well, honestly. I haven't done as much with the Minecraft stuff because Kerbal Space Academy's been doing so well, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. But you know something? You guys are awesome. I've completely just lost the chat. Let me get all the follows that just came in, because that was like 15 follows that just happened or something. It was 11, 8, or 12. Having my fun. TJ for you. JLW, who said hi in chat. It was Hellsman, 24. It was Speed Kerman. Those are all the follows that just came in. It blingily duped a lot in my ear. There was another one that just came by. Hyperbola 84. That's a cool name. Hyperbola. That's a very orbital-oriented name. Guys, everybody, I appreciate the enrollments in Kerbal Space Academy. There's Hyperbola. Nathan 54 Rue also. Redstone, not as in Arsenal, as in Minecraft. As in Minecraft, building redstone stuff. So let me do this. I think I've got all the follows. I've talked about what I'm trying to do here on Twitch. I really try. I want to go up to Twitch and say, hey Twitch, guys, listen to me. It's not just about video games. You could actually teach people stuff using this, right? But you could teach them things in games that are designed to teach things. And it doesn't have to be boring like Math Blaster or whatever. Shout out if you remember Math Blaster, by the way. Math Blaster, that's old school. Like you had to put the 5.5s into the freaking thing, and it's like, kick, 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 and then Math Blaster would fire up. But I really think that there's a thing with like live streaming and teaching people actual real-world concepts. In this case, the beginnings of orbital mechanics and being interested in space and that sort of stuff. But, let us go on. And Gene, again, Gene, thank you so much, man. I do appreciate that ridiculous donation. And everybody else, Tesla Max, Awesome Abel, KP Wayne, and Taxoz. I appreciate you. I do appreciate you. You've played with Math Plaster. Is that something different? Math Blaster, some sort of cow. Oregon Trail, dude. I shoot 2,000 pounds of food. You know something? Hitch up the wagon and drag it to the dead buffalo. Put 2,000 pounds of food in that thing, man. Oh my gosh. Das, I might need to tell my kids about that. Get perfect scores on the quizzes at school or I'll light you on fire. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? What's up, HD Brian? How's it going, man? We are continuing on. We were talking about Math Blaster Miller time. Dude, you're not even kidding. We're talking about onboard construction. Let me get back to the Kerbal Space Academy. Let me get back to... I saw that. I got eyes everywhere, Teflon Mike. I got eyes everywhere. I'm doing on-orbit construction. First we were talking about adding drop tanks to this. Let's keep going. Let's keep going here with the on-orbit construction. This is a drop tank. There are many others like it, but this one is mine. What I want to do is take this drop tank and attach it to the back of this. When I do that, I should have almost 4,000 meters per second of delta V. Almost. You want me to stream Oregon Trail one night? With viewers as my trail companions? You know something? We're going to go farmer mode, y'all. We're going to go farmer mode. EVM Average DOS got to mention the best at personal interaction with us viewers. Most people are focused on playing the game. Sometimes I don't even get to play in the game because I love talking to you guys so much. It's so freaking awesome. It's absolutely positively awesome. I mean, yeah, it's a video game, but the video game teaches real world things. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. We know this is going to work. What we might want to do is we might want to come up with a new concept that actually has fuel that goes out to the side, right? But what I need to do is deliver that right there, drop tank, into orbit and dock it to the back of that guy and go interplanetary. Let's get that done. Dude, I want to see Das cry. Keep up the donations. Sawchuck, you want to see me cry. Oregon Trail banker hype. You get out, Tesla Max. You get out. Banker hype. Dude, I'm going to take no food but 10,000 bullets. And we will hunt outside the camp and we'll get food for free. Yes to this trail. Dude, maybe I'll do that. Maybe. There's another donation. Dude, Rescaladas, more for the cause. Dude, Rescaladas, man, I appreciate you. I know that's not the first one you've said. Another 4-month subscription from Rescaladas. Guys, I absolutely appreciate the support. I do appreciate it. I absolutely, positively appreciate it. Tesla Max is dragged away by a bear. Dr. Pepper hype. Wait, what is this? Is this the, You have the flag in the background. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, Rescaladas, dude, thank you. Everybody that donated, thank you. Let me keep... Get. Oh my gosh. The best streamers are the ones that realize chat is important. Those that don't realize that may as well see. Yeah. You know, I agree with that. Ace McBean, on-orbit constructions. Why do you put fuel tanks on the front ballast tank so you can fill it up in space, extra delta V without adding anything to ships or anything? Black, you're right. You're right. We could actually put fuel lines on there. In fact, that is something that I wanted to do, but I wanted to tuck it on the bottom side here, right? And I wanted to do something along these lines. I was going to get fuel like this. We'll need to do another lifter, but I was going to just put it like this with this. How can I make it look pretty? Just like that, right? 2x symmetry. Did you see in the dev notes yesterday that they're going to make it so you can change symmetry modes while in the VAB, so that you can actually do spaceplane type symmetry while in the VAB? That is going to be absolutely awesome. I do appreciate Harvester and the huge massive rewrite that he's doing of the building system. That's not really pretty. I'm getting to the point where I don't even like want to click on that because it's like the thing goes off. That was Tesla Max again, dude. Another 750. I had to get to the 20 plus category. Tesla Max, after the stream tonight, I will update the donator roll call down at the bottom, and I will get you up to the 20 plus category, Tesla. I had to get to the 20 plus category. I will get you there. I'll upload that after tonight with the donations that came in yesterday and today. I'm gonna update it tonight. You guys are nuts. You're nuts. Teach us how to use Google as a calculator. What? Oh my gosh, I don't know anything about space science. EK Mavericks, remember to use the word questions if you want to ask questions. Are the fuel to weight calculations? Yeah, the math is actually the same. You must stay up so you can watch the stream. Let's keep going. I said that I was going to get this done in the first 45 minutes, and I haven't gotten anything done except we did a little bit of guest test and revise. Let's see here. I've got this guy, and I'm trying to connect it like that. And I've got that guy connected. It's not exactly symmetrical, but you know something, Das? Get over it. Fuel tanks full. Let's see here. Focus. Those guys are full. That guy, we could actually fill him all the way up because he's going to be the IP version. There we go. Now... there's 2787, and I don't want to click. Anonymous. Dude. A donation from Anonymous. Dude, whoever you are, Anonymous. Is there going to be in chat actually named Anonymous? Das, that was adorable. Keep the dream alive. Anonymous, whoever you are, I appreciate you. I do appreciate you. Maybe I'm not supposed to read that out loud because it says Anonymous, but if you don't want me to read it out loud, put that in the message. Aw, Das, that was adorable. Keep the dream alive. All the donations coming in like that. The dream is going to stay alive. You guys are so awesome. I'll do what I need to do to get this figured out. We are Anonymous, everybody. All right. Dude, whoever that was, I do appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. We will continue on. We've got this craft. We've got fuel lines on it now, so it'll actually pull from the center. I believe that if we dock the tank to it, this is going to be the Mark III IP, and I'm just going to save it as this. That is really easy to make. Let's go to a new craft. Let's make these drop tanks and let's go put them in orbit. Let us do this thing. Way to go, Anonymous. Question mark? That should have been expected. Nice. Raider Goo, what's up? Let's see here. Let's see here. Now we've got Pondafar. Dude, Hyperbola, there was Pondafar. Pondafar, thanks for the follow. Let me build this thing out. I'm going to build some sort of delivery drone. Could I just do it? That's the big one. I don't want that one. Could I just do it with my construction bot, the assembly droid? I believe that I could. I could just put that guy like that, but let's make it so he could redock, right? There was another one. You're wigging me out. It's like freaking I'm scared to open the door that is the alerter. Dude, Pale Rider 1942, to the stars. I like that mess. Dude, what is going on? JJ Witten, never stop streaming. Love watching you in this game. Also never seen someone so excited about the game they're playing about teaching us viewers. JJ Witten and Pale Rider right before him with the to the stars. Guys, I appreciate those donations. I do. I'm going to do a big shout out at the end as well. I am going to keep going to JJ Witten. I appreciate you. And Pale Rider, I appreciate you too. Thank y'all so much for the support. What is going on with the follows now? How am I supposed to... Ace McBean, take it easy, dude. It is a donation train. It is a donation train. Teach us how to fold a fitted bed sheet? What? All the follows again all of a sudden? Acid Cookie, Axe Hitter, Hayden's Child, Ace McBean did the follow. Asher, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pondafar was there. Let me build a craft. Here's the assembly droid. Here's this thing. I'm going to keep up with it. I'll do it on occasion. Now I need to actually put something that can have this assembly droid go out there and deliver the tank. Probably not the most efficient way to do it, but it's what we're going to do. Let's flip that over. Let's actually put a tank on here that is the tank itself, right? Makes me... Dude, don't worry. Guys. I absolutely appreciate y'all. And you know something? I appreciate Cybertech as well. Cybertech, dude. I appreciate you hanging out. It's Asher. Oh, it's Asher. Usher. I gotcha. Guys, I'm honestly going to take a little bit of that and spread some of the love around. Because I've got some favorite modders. And some of that's coming in. I'm going to spread some of the love around. Oh my gosh. I continue with this. That's another donation. K-Man. K-Man 3397. I was inspired by Gene, so I donated 1 sig fig less. Nice. 1 significant figure less. I really am enjoying your streaming. Make sure this money goes to essentials like Dr. Pepper or toilet paper or something. Dude, K-Man, I'm good on toilet paper. I'll use it for some Dr. Peppers, K-Man. Appreciate it. 1 sig fig as well. Dude, you guys are awesome. We're going to continue on. Let me make this craft. Some people want to see things go to space. Let me make the craft. I will continue to read all the donations that come in, but I do need to make a craft here. There is that. Could I do something like this? More followers coming in, too. here's what we're going to do. We're making the craft. I am going to see if I can't put some of these tanks on with radial decouplers, maybe. And I'm just going to do 4x radial decouplers. Maybe just 2x radial decouplers. No, it'll never fly that way. The thing that makes the most sense, right? The thing that makes the most sense is to do them in like a bead string sort of thing, right? And what that means is to move this up like this, and then to do this sort of deal. It may actually be better on the top. I just need a donation hour. I'll just shut up and like I'll just shut up and do this. Ace McBean, scroll the channel down. Scroll the channel down. I'm like totally missing up out on some chat. Scroll the channel down. You can see my entire mod list. Definitely get Kerbal Engineer. Everything under my what like a telethon on PBS? That's hilarious. Remember, Kerbal Space Academy is brought to you by generous support of. You're too lazy to scroll down. Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's down there in HTML. It's got clickable links. What you miss in terms of that, you will make up for in terms of clickable links. Let me do this. I'm building drop tanks, right? I'm building drop tanks, and I will put a drop tank like this on the front of the craft, like that. I can dock it, right? I can totally dock it, and I was going to do the 720. We could use different sizes. We could use this as a bigger drop tank. We could use this as a drop tank. There's so many different things that we could do with this idea, right? But, I've already got that ship up there. And remember the trick? Remember you can hold down Alt and you can click on something to copy it? So you could totally put 2 drop tanks in orbit just like that. Then you could put your assembly droid at the top, and then we could strut all these things together. They're definitely not going to want to go to space like this. But I would definitely come in here and strut these things together with 4x symmetry on the struts. Like this. Like that. Like this. Like this. And then the last one, I'll strut this guy in just a little bit like this. Up to there. That looks good. Everything is nice and strutted in. Let's see if we can deliver that to orbit. This is missing a piece, I believe. Because I think that we're actually going to want... There's a lot of different ways that we could do this. Looks like a guy with his hands up. It does. It does. It looks like Mojo Jojo with his hands in the air with boxing gloves on. It's like a cross between Strong Bad and Mojo Jojo. Anyways, let's go back to compact. I'm not worried about atmospheric mode. Ooh, I am now because I'm building a lifter. There's atmospheric. All right, that's going to be our payload. There are a lot of different ways to do that, but that right there is going to be our payload. We need a... Awesome Abel. Dude, awesome Abel. That's like twice, actually. 2601, 2501 this time. Awesome Abel, dude. Tesla Max. Awesome Abel, man. You don't have to do it twice, man. You don't have to do it twice. But I do appreciate you, and I'm gonna update the roll call down there tonight. I've actually got a program that I wrote that adds it all up for me. It takes an Excel file and puts into CSV and then adds everything up. So I will get that updated at the end of the night. I do appreciate you though. Let me build a kicker stage. Well, let me build an orbital delivery stage. That right there is a lot of delta V, but it's because of the crossfeed on these docking ports, right? That is a problem. That is definitely a problem. So what I want to do... Ooh, there's not really anything that I can do there. Lame. I wish in the VAB I could actually right-click and do that. Oh, what could I do? See how it's actually going to use the fuel out of all of these things, which is not good. I just want to use the fuel out of this tank. And to do that, I could disable these tanks. That's the fastest way to do it. I could also put a stack decoupler in there, and then Engineer would not be using that anymore. There we go. 1401 with a 0.64 delta V. That's really not great, so I'm going to build this delivery thing to look like this instead. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep forging ahead, guys. I'm going to keep forging ahead here. Now I've got those. I'm going to put these engines on the back, which should give me double the thrust. Double the thrust, double the thrust. Where is it at? And I will get caught up with the chat. I'm going to get this thing launched. I'm going to get it into space, and then I'm going to get caught up with the chat. That's a good delivery stage, but we don't have fuel lines yet. We're going to need those. And we can actually do it like this from the middle out to the side. That'll be okay, even though they're not exactly straight. We'll be fine. I also feel like I need SAS on here. We're going to need a little bit more reaction control. Oh, I could just put it on the side. Instead of that, I could totally do it like this, right? I could totally put 2 of these SAS units on here. Like that. And then I could put my fuel lines in like this. Because what I want to be able to deliver this out. I'm not going to dock it with it, right? I'm not going to exactly dock it with it. But That looks good right there. Now we've got 1.03 thrust to weight, 1800 delta V. That is okay. That's probably could use a little bit less delta V. We could use less delta V in these stages and make it more efficient. Let's do that right quick. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's put the smaller tank on. We don't need 1800 delta V. We really just need like 1000, right? In 2x symmetry, please. Put it up as far as I can get it, like this. And that looks good. I'm okay with that. So I've got that, I've got that, I've got that. The only other thing I need is electric charge. So we will go ahead and put some solar panels. You know I don't use solar panels very often. So let's put some solar panels on it, like this. 2x symmetry. That's fine. That's fine. And then the last thing, I need some dorsal batteryage here. So I'm going to put a dorsal battery like that. Maybe that won't get it through the night. Not sure. What about the nose cones? I could put nose cones there. I don't really need the nose cones, but I could put nose cones. Since you asked me to. You don't need them in stock KSP, right? You don't really need them in stock KSP, but I'll put them there. So, Dust, turn off fuel tank on the assembly bot. There are no fuel tanks. It's just RCS. Thank you for watching out for me. Who was that, though? Who was that? Having my fun, dude. Nobody donate $1,000 to Dust when I'm gone. Gonna go take a shower. Nice, cool, man. Yes, Dust, turn off fuel. It just has RCS. It doesn't actually have fuel. But you did remind me of something. You did remind me that I need a little bit of RCS storage down here. So I am going to put some RCS storage on this bot thingy. The little bot assembler here. And I could actually attach it like that. And put it like that, I believe. And that is totally a legitimate way to do that, right? That is absolutely legitimate. Do not worry about that at all. A couple follows came in. Zaldifax, I think I got. Knight of One. Berserko. Hailey. I think that's how you say your name, Hailey. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. We're doing on-orbit construction. We're adding a drop tank to a craft that's already in orbit. That's what we're doing. Let us get this thing into space. That right there is a good delivery stage. I think we'll be okay with it. I am a little bit worried about how wonky that's going to be, but I'm not going to worry about it. Shifty eyes. It would probably really be better to store these things on the side than up there, but I'll just go with this and we'll see how wacky it is. Let me put that there. Now I need a kicker. Remember my kicker, 1500 meters per second of delta V, 1.5 thrust to weight. So let's see what we can do for a kicker. We're probably going to need more fuel than that, but let's toss a skipper on there. I have a feeling that skipper is going to be our engine of choice for this. 1.09 thrust to weight. We need more. Mainsail kicker stage. Mainsail hype. Remember what happens when my thrust to weight, dude. Fulu gula puff. What? Fulurga puff. Fulurga puff. Poof. Fulurga poof. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. We're gonna add this up here. We're gonna have the phony donation scam. Nice. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Continuing on. Continuing on. Gene, you didn't miss anything, man. Hyandus or Hindus. Thanks for following Kerbal Space Academy. I'm Das Valdez. I've got too much thrust to weight. I want 1.5 and 1500. When I've got too much thrust to weight and not enough delta V, I can actually add fuel. To this craft, I'm going to add fuel using this trick that I do sometimes. I'm actually going to put fuel tanks out on the side that look like this. Let me get the radial a coupler part. And I do know that I could make these drop tanks. I'm not actually going to make them drop tanks, though. So I could put those like that. I could go like this. I could do this sort of deal. Where's that other fuel tank? Let me see what I get from these. I'm not sure what I'm going to get. Maybe not very much. And a fuel line. I may need to add more. 12. Okay, that's 1200. Let's add more. I'm just going to put another one of these tanks for time's sake. 1500, 1.87. So these tanks in 4x symmetry would be perfect for this kicker stage. Don't tell NASA. Don't tell NASA. Near far, eat your heart out. I'm putting these tanks on in 4x symmetry like that, and that is my kicker stage. That would not work in far. That will work in stock KSP. Next, use Dr. Pepper to get more fuel. Next, I'll build a huge Dr. Pepper delivery thing as part of my complicated ship. So we've got those things. Let's come over here. Let's put the big radial tug coupler. Now I need a kicker, or I need a lifter stage. And remember the rules for the lifter stage. 1.7 on the pad, 2,500 meters per second to delta V. Let's do this really quick-like. Let's see if we can't actually just use the big stages. And I'm going to put this guy up there like that. I'm going to put the big STS parts on here that look like this. Let's start by putting one of these at the bottom. Not like that. Like this. And then let's start by putting this big engine here and see where we're at. That is That's actually really close to what we need. That is honestly very close to what we need it to be. 2,000 meters per second of delta V, 1.68 on the pad. I think that if we just add some of these big boosters, we'll be good to go. So let's add some of the big boosters. I'm going to use these in 4x symmetry. And then I'm going to put the big boosters on like that. I really do want to move these down a little bit though. So let me grab this part here and move it down so that those booster tails are just about even with that. And I'm going to need to strut them up at the top, right? So let's strut them up at the top. Like this. 4x symmetry from there to there. Come around to the other side. 4x symmetry from here to here. That should be good. That looks... They're not exactly symmetrical, but it'll be okay for the boosters. And then I'm going to bring these boosters into the proper stage. Let's move that up to the correct stage. Let's bring the boosters into the same stage as the main engine on the bottom. And that right there, so there's my kicker stage, right? That's actually too much thrust. So what I can do is thrust limit these guys down to 1.7. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. I can actually make it so that the central core runs out. Do you know what that means? That means I don't actually need them as a separate stage. I could actually take those off. I could just attach them to the side here. Oh, this is very interesting indeed. I could attach them to the side. Can I use 4x symmetry, or will it not let me do that because of the bottom tank? Yeah, it won't let me do that because of that wacky clipping on the bottom tank. Dad blame it. I wonder if some standoff hype would work. Ah, look at what I'm doing though. I don't actually need to use decouplers. That'll work right there. I can just do it like that, and I can set them up in such a way that that entire stage ends at the same time. How do I know? It's because Kerbal Engineer is so awesome. You see right here, I've already got these things thrust and limited a little bit. See, 74% watch. When I put them at full throttle, ooh, it's going to be hard for me to tell. Dang it. Is there anything that's going to be obvious? No, there's not anything that's going to obviously tell me how long those things are going to burn. Well, the number was about 74. I'm just going to leave it like that. And that right there is what we need. Let's just launch this thing and get it to space. What I was doing, I was turning down the thrust on these guys. And I was making it so that these would burn long enough that this would run out of fuel at the same time as these. It'd be really awesome if there was a way to calculate that. I mean, we could do the math, right? We could always go to the big main engine. And it says that the fuel per second is 91, about 92 fuel per second. And then we could add up the total fuel that we have in these two things, which would be, what is this, 6480. 6480 plus, what's in the bottom tank? 1620 equals, all right, so 8100 fuel. And then I could divide that by the fuel per second, which is 92, divided by 92. So that's about 88 seconds that could run. And then I could figure out what thrust to weight on this would actually run for 88 seconds. I think it's going to be close enough, and I'm just not going to worry about it. It shows burn time. Yeah, but it won't split out the two stages, right? It won't actually, it'll just show me the least common denominator. It won't, maybe when it changes? Ah, okay. So that's it. Oh, that's a good way to do it. Maybe we could do that. I think, look at that. No matter what the thrust is up here, the burn time stays the same, because they're going to run out first and the other engine will keep burning. But when I get it to a low enough thrust that the burn time right here starts to change, that'll actually tell me that the solid boosters are going to run longer than the central core. Right there was it. And it went from 28.3 to 28.6. So the solid boosters should run out basically 0.3 seconds after the central core runs out. Let's have the solid boosters run out first. That is a good way to do it. That is a good way to do it. Yeah, Gene, you're also, that's how I realized it in the first place. I had them in separate stages with the radial decoupler, and I said, wait a second, the right amount of thrust will actually do that. But that's a great way to do it right there, just looking at that burn time and thrust limit that down until it stops, and then you know that these are going to run for the same amount of time as the central core. I've never built a rocket like that before, that's really cool. We learned a new thing. Now we just get to see if this rocket is actually going to fly. This is the DOS Simple Docker Drop Tank Delivery. Right? There we go. Except, I think I'm good to go. I'm in atmospheric mode because Kerbal Engineer is so awesome and it says atmospheric mode right there. I've got 2500 and at least 1.7, so I'm okay there. I've got 1561 and 1.87 there. I may have to No, I can't. I can't actually do the throttle. We're just going to launch this craft. Let's actually fly some rockets here after an hour worth of me turning red. Dude, you're right, dude. Dude, wait. Cybertech, you got a donation? You need to get on me with Skype or something, man. Kuju Man donated to Cybertech. $6 because Cybertech made the Kerbal Engineer mod. Here is his link right there. Spread the love around a little bit. Nice. If you like it, yeah, there you go. Cybertech is the dev for Kerbal Engineer, which is used in the stream. From that, must be the download link. If you like it and wish to help him out, you can donate. And there's two different things, GBT or USB. Guys, spread some love to Cybertech as well, because Cybertech made Kerbal Engineer. And he just got a $6 donation from Kuju Man. Cybertech, dude, I need to get you on Skype. I'm more than happy. I am more than happy to read out your donations on my stream freaking live, dude. Because like 50% of my stream, 98% of my stream actually relies on teaching Kerbal Space Program with Kerbal Engineer, dude. Absolutely. Wouldn't you get more Delta V with a lighter rocket for a short time by decoupling the empty boosters instead of having a longer booster burn? No. Actually. Because the boosters are going to burn for the entire time, their thrust was too much. We just want them for their Delta V. We don't want them for their extra thrust, right? So I actually throttled them back a bit, and I was going to dump them at first, but what I actually wanted to do was just have them run out at the same time. So because they're burning the entire time, we'll be good to go. I mean, yes, maybe it would. Maybe it would be more efficient if we had less thrust on the outer stage, more thrust on the middle stage, and they burned out first and we ditched it and we throttled the first stage so that when they burned out and then we throttled it back up. But to keep the rocket simple, I just have it all burning at once. So I think you're right. I think we could eke a little bit more meters per second of Delta V if we did it that way. But I am just going to launch the rocket this way. Let us go to space. Let me see if I can't do a direct rendezvous in the interest of time. The simple Docker is right there. What's its orbit? 75. All right. So I need to set that as my target. I'm going to let it go all the way around the planet. Because what I need to do is wait for the simple Docker to get over Kerbal, India, which is right here. Right here. And when the simple Docker gets over Kerbal, India, let me do this rendezvous, and then before I do the installation, I'll catch up with chat. I see my name popping a lot in chat. I do see my name popping a lot in chat. So there's the simple Docker coming around. And right when it gets over Kerbal, India, which is what I call this guy right here, that is Kerbal, India. When the simple Docker gets right over the little isthmus, peninsula, whatever that thing is, that is Kerbal, India, I'm going to launch this rocket and see if I can't do a direct orbital rendezvous. So watch. There it is over the middle of Kerbal, India. Panel lock. Click up there. Throttle up. Press Z. SAS engage. Press T. It's already pressed. 3, 2, 1. Go to space. And let's see what we can do. It is leaning on me. It does not like this. It does not like this. The rocket doesn't like it. No! That's not good. It's because of these connections. Those are weak connections. That is not good at all. Can I control from somewhere else? Can I control from like here? Control from there. Nope. Can I use RCS? Nope. Is this one not thrust limited? 481. 481. 481. No! Alright, putting those things up there is not going to be a valid strategy, it looks like. That's lame. Is he disabled? Let me see if he's disabled. Let me see his SAS. Is this SAS disabled? Oh, I don't actually have SAS on there. That'll help us out some. It's going to crash, guys. It's definitely going to crash. This guy's like doing what he can to steer it, but he's not doing a very good job. He can only do so much. I'm really kind of wondering whether or not these guys are thrust limited or something, but it looks like they're all putting out the same thrust. Specific impulse. Yeah, that's fine. That rocket's going straight into the ground. Hi, DOS. I see that things are not going well. You know something? I don't think we're going to space today. The good news is cleanup is a snap by embedding it in the bottom of the ocean. Let's go back to the vehicle assembly and see if I can figure out what the deal with that was. Control fins to the booster and more SAS. I think all we really need is more SAS. I meant to put SAS on this guy, right? And then I didn't actually put it on. So let's put more SAS on that guy like that. We've already got his SAS, and he shouldn't be disabled, but it's not going to be that effective. I wonder if his SAS is actually going to cause a problem. This is not great. The way I've got this here with these things kind of chained up like that is not great. Oops, that's not a dorsal battery, by the way. That's a dorsal and ventral battery. If we can't get it to fly straight, we're actually going to take these tanks and we're going to have to put them on the sides or carry them some other way, because I have a feeling these guys may be our problem. But I think I'll be okay. That's good. There are some problems with the way that this part clipping happens down here, and sometimes it can actually block the thrust, because you see how those actually stick off from the side of the rocket just a little bit? That can be a problem sometimes. I think, yeah. Welcome to Kerbal Submarine Academy. Abel, that's awesome. Let me go ahead and launch it this way. I really think that, I really think we'll be okay. I am going to have to time warp again. Install RSS, the scariest of mods. Ace, that mod really doesn't... It's not really scary to me. It just takes more time, is all it really is. You have to scale the engines up and stuff like that. Wait. Thank Zeet McFeet. Dude, did you get something from Zeet McFeet? That is awesome, Cybertech. Where was Zeet McFeet at? Yeah, that was the last thing you said. Dude, Cybertech apparently with a donation from Zeet McFeet, which is awesome. I do believe. Oh, I had SAS. I had the SAS on there. Duh. Whatever, let's launch it anyways. Let's just see if it's going to go straight up before I actually do the time wait sort of ding. And the other thing I want to do is control from this probe core. Control from there. Panel lock, throttle up, SAS engage, 3, 2, 1, space. Look at it turn! I have a feeling this is something wrong with this booster's thrust. I don't think it's our rocket. I have a feeling it has something to do with the thrust of this booster. I have a feeling that booster may be clipping through those engines or something. Or this one over here, actually, and not thrusting as much. Absolutely, dude, I buy shirts. They're already up there. They're up there on YouTube already. If you go to my YouTube page, you can see both of my 8 to 10 hour boot camps that I did for 2 Saturdays. They're already up there. I think that this is a bug with the clipping regions of this. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the rocket. I actually don't even see it bending, really. I think that it's something to do with these thrusters and the way that they're doing, yeah. Yes, Kerbal Space Program. Every now and then. Werner RCS engines. No, I never use RCS to fix problems like this. I never use RCS to do that. Let's do this. Let's put these on in 2x symmetry. There's one like that, and then there's one like this. And we'll put them on in 2x symmetry. And that should fix the problem. I bet you that right there fixes the problem. Did I strut my boosters? Yeah, the boosters were strutted up here. They weren't tilted in. They weren't TPing. Spin the ship. That's absolutely a thing. EK Mavericks in right checks. I could spin it. I could do that. They're a little bit off. We should be okay with that though. Let's see if I can't straighten them up a little bit. Now they need to go up a little bit, like that. Whatever, close enough. DOS is closing in on 2,000 followers. We'll see, Brainfire, we'll see. And we didn't need that on there. I don't think it has anything to do with the rocket. I think that it has everything to do with the clipping problem with the bottom of that large engine. There is a clipping problem with the bottom of that large engine that does cause problems sometimes. So let us save that guy. Let's launch it, and let's see if we can get this rocket into orbit. Hopefully it doesn't turn. You have 16 tabs. What's your life? That's why you're installing Real Solar System. In Tesla Max. Dude. Tesla Max. I don't have to... Yeah, there you go. In doubt, aerodynamic stabilizers. Everybody that's tossing some support to Cybertech as well. Dude, Cybertech, I'm going to send you a donation at the end of the stream. I will come over there and I will give you a donation, man. Because part of the success of my stream is your Kerbal engineer. Absolutely. So I will do that at the end of the stream here. That is what I will do. Maybe I'll stream it. We'll see. I thought about that the other day, but then I was like, don't stream your PayPal login. That's dumb, DOS. Let's see here. Pen lock, throttle up, SAS engage, 3, 2, 1, space. And let's see if we go to space straight. It's still leaning. It's still leaning, even with the boosters on the side. So maybe it is something at the top of the rocket. Maybe it is something at the top of the rocket. It just does not like how we're delivering these fuel tanks. It is not in love with what we're doing. Alright, well, let's fix that. I've got a way to fix that too. I definitely have a way to fix that as well. Let's see what we've got. The love is real. Dude, you're not even kidding, Ace McBean. The love is absolutely real. Absolutely. Spin. I could spin. Dude, what else is this? ACAR 0938. Trionysis. Negsteri. Oh, thank you for enrolling in Kerbal Space Academy. Bob as well. Haroon Bob. Try removing. I think I'm just going to do this. I could do that. I think I'm just going to go with a double dorsal battery thing this time. I'm going to put radial decouplers like this. Maybe I should use the ones that have a little bit of standoff to them. In 2x symmetry. And I'm going to take these things off. Look, we're going to take these. No. Oh, those are on top. Okay. I'm going to take this guy. Oops, I need to take the bot off first. Remember, when you disassemble a rocket, you've got to do it from the farthest out to the innermost. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of those struts, I think. Let's put one of these tanks over here. Far eat your heart out, right? There we go. That seems legit. And let us go ahead. We don't even have to disable it anymore. Let's get the construction bot. Get the construction bot and put him down like that. I bet I don't even need to strut those, but I think I will just in the interest of doing it. So I'll strut it like this up to the middle. 2x symmetry. I'll put the docking ports back on and we'll see if this one goes to space. Because what must have been happening, what kind of snuck up on us there, was the fact that those struts in the weak docking port connections were not good connections to have a rocket that tall. So I think if we do it this way, we should be good to go. I don't even really think that I need to do anything with that guy, except it does look like I need to move those engines down a little bit. See how the nose cones are getting in my way? Let me just remove the nose cones. And let's launch it. Question, was the SAS stacked sideways? No, it wasn't. It was stacked on, straight on. This should work. Who knows? Let's see. Launch it. And then we will. T-Rex Somchai. RCS build data. But a couple people said RCS build data. Let me launch this one. And if it doesn't happen, let me look at it with RCS build aid. Pen lock, throttle up, SAS engaged, 3, 2, 1, space. Weird. Why does this craft keep wanting to turn that way, even with these things like this? That is absolutely weird as to why this craft keeps rolling over like that. Is this something to do with this guy being up here? Let's look at it with RCS build aid. It keeps wanting to turn that way for no apparent reason. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Revert flight back to the vehicle assembly. Let's see what we got. A KSP edition of Dr. But with a KSP logo on the... Nice. That would actually be awesome. That would be awesome. We're not exactly college football or anything. Let's check RCS build aid and see if something... No, those are full. That one's full. I mean, what could possibly be making it do that? Try turning SAS off. Bottom struts, they have them. They have struts. See, they're already strutted in. Boosters need it. Yeah, got it. Try turning SAS off. That shouldn't do it. It's the SAS units on their sides. Disable them. These things, I've never had a problem with them going to space that way before. We'll have a look at it. We'll have a look. Let's look at RCS build aid first. We'll take it out there. I will disable those. Engine center of mass. No, it says we're not supposed to have any sort of rotation from the engines. So it has, maybe it's something to do with those. I've never run into that. I've used this guy all the time and I've never seen that before. You suspect a flexing of the couplers. I don't know. Let's see if we can launch it and turn off the SAS on the top parts. That's very weird. I've never run into this problem before. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. We're good. I just clicked on it. Bottom struts as well as top struts on the boosters. I've never needed that. I've never needed bottom and top studs. Dude, Sniper Puppy. Sniper Puppy. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. We're trying to get this thing into space. Let me see if I can toggle that torque. Now SAS on. Let me also control from here off the get-go, right? That right there, control from there. Pen lock. Throttle up. SAS engaged. 3, 2, 1. Space. You didn't see the nozzles moving. The gimbal's unlocked. The gimbal's good to go there. Let's see what we've got. 3, 2, 1, space. It still wants to rotate for no apparent reason. And these things look like they're pretty darn straight. Y'all see that? So for no apparent reason, it still wants to keep rotating that way. Well, let's build it a different way. Back to vehicle assembly. Forget all this stuff at the bottom. I'm just not going to deal with it. There was another donation. Dude, Hi Lee! Hi Lee. I think that's how you say your name. Hey man, you are awesome. It's not often that there's a KSP streamer I enjoy watching, but you certainly are one. Dude, Hi Lee, I totally appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. Thank you so much, Hi Lee, for the donation there. All the support that's coming in tonight. I do appreciate it highly. Thank you so much for the donation. I mean, that's filled up. That's filled up. Engineer said that there shouldn't be a problem. It's just something with the rocket. Maybe it has something to do with these guys. So let's just toss these things off. Let us. That's interesting. That right there says that we have plenty of Delta V to get to space. Let's just launch it this way and see what we get from just launching it this way. Yeah, my center of mass was in the center. We checked it with RCS build date. In fact, it was still up. And you can see here, dude, highly, again, thank you for the donation. It is. Build engineer's telling me we're good to go. Rotating the craft. I do want to go to space. I'll try that next. I'll rotate the craft. I have a feeling I actually don't know what's going on there. That's actually very real. Launch with a girder firing contraption. It's just your day. Das even says my name right. Hey! Drop tanks aren't disabled, but that shouldn't matter because there's no crossfeed. Whoa. Did y'all see that? Look at that. Look at it wobble. That would definitely cause us to not go to space straight. Ah, I think I see the culprit. I think this connection right here is the culprit. I think we need to strut this from here up to these drop tanks. This connection has too much weight on top of it, and it's bending over to the side. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. All right, so everything else that we guessed about was wrong. Now we've apparently lost our side boosters. But everything else that we guessed was wrong. So let's build this back together right quick. All right. It's just that stage was bending a little bit. Let me put these things on. Let me put the boosters back. If we put struts on that stage, I think it's going to fix it. That's good. Let's thrust limit these guys down to 74. 73.5, I think it was, right, to get it exact. Then we strut the top of them. You definitely need to put struts like this. So from the loaded symbol down to the line, and from the loaded symbol down to the line. Why aren't those two lines? I don't understand why the lines aren't straight. But I really wish that I just had textures for the rockets that were like crosshatches, right? And I think our entire problem here is this right here. I think that this is our entire problem. Not having struts from there to there. That right there should probably fix it. And this is super ugly the way we're doing this now. But I just want to get it to space, so I'm just going to get it to space like this. We can always reassemble it while we're on orbit. Save it, launch it. This should go to space. Staging, though, it looks like. Do I know any good mods? Scroll down. I've got my must-have mods. Did anyone donate 1 bajillion yet? No. No. I would stream. I would absolutely. Yes, much a small problem can make a big difference. The rocket still looks like it's leaning. The rocket is still leaning. You know what might be the absolute problem here? Look how wobbly it is. The absolute problem here may just be the fact that we don't have launch clamps. Let's put some launch clamps on it and see if that... I need to fix the staging anyways. Here we go. We'll put these in here. Then we're going to do... Yep, we don't need any of that stuff. We certainly don't want those to be blown off, though. Ah, that's why it was telling me I had too much Delta V. I see now. I totally see now. Where's my middle? That's my kicker engine. Then where's my other 2 engines? There we go. Okay, that right there is what it needs to look like. That's what the staging needs to look like. And we need to come over here and see if we can't put this together with some launch clamps. Geez, such a little thing that takes so much time. That is one reason that Kerbal Space Program takes a lot of time. The tanks are full. The tanks are full. Silly, yeah, we've got it. All these things are full. We're good to go, I think. Maybe we need to put more struts on it or something, but I think I'll just go with this. Let's see if this will launch straight. We could also actually put launch stability enhancers all the way up here. I think we've got enough clearance for it. That's just 1. I thought I asked for 2x symmetry. Nope. Oh, the other one's on the inside. That happens sometimes. Did y'all see that? There we go. Now it's good. Sometimes it'll do 2x symmetry on this tank instead of on both tanks like that. Let's see if that works. And it's like 15 minutes later, we'll actually see if this rocket will go to space. Ah, yes. Here we go. Here we go. Reload. There we go. Yes. We are good to go. Let us see if this thing completely crashes out. Is there a strong storm coming from you? Winds, Das. It's winds. Winds. I buy shirts. If this doesn't work, I have a feeling it's just the crap. It's just the craft tilting. Let us see if we can fly it straight with this. We may not be able to. It may just not be a straight flying design. 3, 2, 1. Space. Hey! Oh, seriously? That staging, though. I don't understand. I really hope, the number one thing that I hope that Harvester put in his rewrite of the VAB is putting launch clamps in the bottom stage by default. Why would you ever put them in a stage that wasn't the bottom stage? I get it, you light the engines, da-da-da-da. I know that, right? 3, 2, 1. Space. Throttle up, panel lock, SAS. Engage the space. The silly rocket is still leaning. The rocket is still leaning. Wouldn't you know it? Can I just go for a spin stabilization? No, because I don't think that that's going to do anything. I don't think that that's going to do anything. I don't think it has anything to do. I don't think it has anything to do with anything apart from the fact that this is not a very stable contraption up here at the top. So let's see if that fixes it. This is not a good launch. This is not a good rocket, basically, so far. Let's see if that'll fix it. And if it doesn't... Jet boosters is the reason for double tech. They do. We've already checked that. Guys, everybody's trying to help out. Yes, we have checked to make sure that all the fuels have all the tanks have fuel. We've actually checked it with RCS Build Aid, which says that physics aside, it should not have any sort of lean, but it is still leaning. So I'm going to do it one more time. And straight off the pad, I'm going to start spinning it. That just makes us fall over even more. Yeah, that's not going to help us at all. So basically, we've got to strut the bejesus out of all of this stuff. We do have to strut the bejesus out of all this stuff. Who was that? Ypsilon TM. Ypsilon TM, thanks for the follow. Wow. Let's see what we've got. Revert to vehicle assembly. And I think I know what we need to do to make this thing fly straight. We've got that. We're definitely not going to control it from there. These parts I'm not even really concerned about. Let's just do this. In the interest of keeping it simple, let's take that. Let's get rid of that. Let's put this guy. Oh, you can't do that apparently. So let's actually rebuild him on top of this like this. Where are the docking ports, please? There's one docking port. Dink. Where's my big fuel tank? Here is my big fuel tank. Like that. Dude, Nikolai and Temthom, thank you for enrolling in Kerbal Space Academy. We're trying to get this rocket into orbit. It should have been easier than this, but apparently this is just one of those rockets where the design that we had put together. And Zach Martin as well, thank you for the follow. This is just one of those designs that you run across to every now and then that is not the most easy to work with design in the world. So now we've got that. Now we'll put struts. So 4x symmetry struts from there on down. That should be good. You know, maybe I'll use Luis's docking adapter as well, his cargo adapter. I've done this as well in the past. I think that this is a useful thing to do sometimes. Putting this on with 4x symmetry. And maybe I don't want it to strut to there. I actually want this to strut down to the main tank so I can strut that right like that, right? Dude, Choofy, thanks for the follow. Make sure there's not a raid or anything going on. Yeah. You're putting everybody aboard that ship. K-Man, take it easy, dude. K-Man, again, thank you for the donation, man. Thank you for the donation. The fuel lines are on correctly, yeah. Yeah, what did High-Key be? I'll take Shutter Disasters for 100. Hi-Lee! Cybertech, was that some support from Hi-Lee? Let me know, dude. Let me know. Those things, that looks good. I think all of this is good. It might help us to strut this guy out just a little bit, but he barely has any real weight in him, right? So let's just see if we can't do 4x symmetry on him going up like that. Ah, that's fine. Close enough. Anything else? I think the last thing I might do is something that's like from here up to there. So let's do that. In fact, I'll take these segments and I'll move them around like... Oh, that's not going to work, actually. Now I've completely boned it. There we go. I was going to do one more bit of strutting. No, 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 not like that. Welcome to Kerbal Strut Academy this evening. There we go. One more bit of strutting. Like that. Is that going to go to the engines? That's okay. Whatever. Let us see if this rocket right here will freaking fly, because it's getting on my nerves just a little bit. Oh, and we took some fuel out, so now we've got too much thrust. Now we've got way too much delta V. Could we just do it with this now? 2,000. No, I'd actually have to put these guys like this. 2388, 1.84 on the pad. That's okay. That's close enough for me, honestly. So that all looks good. That all looks good. That would be 1.0. Let us do this now. Can I fly this plane and land it? Oh, that's the quote. That's the quote. Dude, Hiley, Hiley, I hope I can read that out. Hiley gave some support to Cybertech. Hiley, you're welcome, Cybertech. I would have wasted hundreds of hours in KSP without you. You're not even kidding, Hiley. You are not even kidding. Absolutely, you are not even kidding about how much time being able to design craft using Kerbal Engineer saves you. Absolutely, that's freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. Turning if they don't have control surface. You can make your rocket fly straight with a lot of fins. I don't think that the fins would be able to help us very much. If I can't, I'll put some fins on it just for y'all. If I can't get it to fly this time, but I have a feeling that that strutting and wobbling was going on. I also want to control it from here. Come on. Right there. Control from there. Let's see if this one goes straight. 3, 2, 1, space. It still doesn't want to fly straight. No matter what, it wants to fall over. No matter what we freaking do. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Let's slap a bunch of fins on it and see if that works. I wonder if it has something to do with those guys meeting up like that. Vertical vehicle assembly. Let's slap some fins on it. Detachable structural stabilizers. I don't know if I need all of that sort of stuff going on, man. Fins! I'll try the fins. I don't think that they're going to do anything, but I'll try the fins. I mean, the fins are just tiny compared to these big... You don't see fins on any rockets anymore, right? And I don't think that those are going to help us very much. That was 3x symmetry. Let's go with 4. I'll give it a try. But it's something to do with the payload at the top not staying straight. That is what is going on. There's some fins. I don't think that rotating the craft is going to help us any. If this doesn't work, which I don't think it is. If this doesn't work, I think I will. I'll try to rotate in the VAB for you, but I don't think that that's going to do it. Once you're moving, fins are good, but they don't really do anything with this amount. They need airflow to get an effect. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Throttle it up. Panel lock. SAS engaged. 3, 2, 1. Space with fins. That just blew up my engine. Fins? No. Oh my gosh, people. This is getting on my nerves. More fins. Apparently those fins blew up because they were clipped through these things. Ay, ay, ay. That looks good. The fins hit the stabilizers and everything blew up. Let's launch it this time. This is way too... Yeah, Rolo, I don't think that we needed to radio in. We didn't need to radio in. Space planes. I'm going to be doing space planes. Tomorrow. Tonight we're doing on-orbit construction. If we can ever get this freaking thing off the pad. 3, 2, 1. That's 3x symmetry. That's probably not a recipe for success. 3, 2, 1. Space. Nope, the fins don't do anything. I didn't expect that the fins would help at all. Will they help me spin it faster? Here, I can do the rotation test right here. Now I've rotated it 90 degrees, and if rotating it in the VAB would do anything... There we go. Look at that. That's like trying to pull it back up. This is just the weirdest freaking rocket. Now it is actually a little bit more stable. See, what's the deal? Now I can actually get it to come on. No. I rolled it on its back and I was able to get control of it. I wonder if I can get it into orbit now. It is not wanting to fly straight at all, though. Look, I'm giving it like full pitch correction. I'm giving it full pitch correction, and it is not wanting. Nope. It's still not wanting. You know what happens? You know what you can do? Spin it. There we go. Spin it some more. You just got to get it going straight up and then spin it. I'm way past my gravity turn, by the way. This entire rocket is just not giving us any love. It's the payload. I do believe that it's the payload. It does not have any love for the payload. Alright, I think if I spin it as soon as I take off, it'll go to space. Lost the main engine and it started to go straight up. Maybe it could just be that. Yeah, gravity turn. No, it's a gravity turn. Spin stabilization, dude, water lubber. Oh, water lubber. I recognize you from YouTube. You commented on some of my YouTube stuff. Let's see here. I'm just going to throttle it up, pan lock, SAS engage. Full spin stabilization out of the gate. I think I hit something. I don't care, though. Nope, even that, I'm not getting enough spin out of it fast enough. But now I've rolled it on its back. Let's see if I can pull it back up. Alright, look, look, look. I've got it going up, and all I need to do is get it pointed straight up and then spin stabilize it. This rocket. I don't think I'm going to upload this one. Welcome to Kerbal's Spin Stabilization Academy this evening. I'm Das Valdez, the person who's been trying to get this rocket working for a good while. Alright, come on. No, 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 no. There you go. Come back up this way. Come back up. It's like wanting to fly backwards no matter what. Maybe a plane tank as a payload one time, see if I'm right. That's not a bad idea, actually. There we go. Yes, point straight up, and then I'm going to spin stabilize you. Now. Alright, spin stabilization. No, spin stabilization isn't working. It's pulling me off to the west a little bit. That's not going to be an option, because I need to be pulling to the east. The rocket just wants to spin in one direction. Let's just do a gravity turn. Let's use the error to do a gravity turn here. It's going the way that arrow's pointing right there. See? Now I need to not go much gravity turning. So let's turn it around. This rocket. This rocket is not treating us very well. There. Wait. Okay. Good. Alright! Alright, I bet you I can control this stage. Look, it's not... No, it's something definitely with that bottom stage. Now this thing flies like a freaking dream. I don't know if it's going to go to space, though. But we'll find out. I'll tell you in a couple minutes if it's going to go to space or not. Terrible inclination. We were already kind of close on our margins, and all that spinning did not help us. I'm going to board... Wow, it's actually time for me to start my orbit. I need to fix my inclination. So there's 2. There's 1. I just want to get it under 0.5. There's 0.5. All right, good, good, good. Now I can fly straight like this. I'm going to burn right here at the bottom of this until I get an 85K. 2, 3, 4, 5. What do I have in the tank? 1,000 in the tank, 1,200. Yeah, I could totally get this into orbit. So the question is, do we care about debugging the rocket, or do we just care about this? Type it in chat. Let me know. Do you care about... Why do we not have any noise, by the way? Huh. That's weird. Asymmetric, unbalanced SRB struts. It may be something with that, but we're still having it. We were still having the problem before. With the other designs. Name the ship the Space Cripple. But it's capable. It's the Space Capable ship. It's not the Space Cripple ship. Where's my music? You guys... There it is. That was like almost on cue. I'm like, where's my music? And it like starts up the music. Frick it. Sounds good. You need something to tip of the rocket with lifter stage. Turns the entire thing into a unique solid state using a structural loop. I think instead of debugging the rocket, I'm just going to go ahead and deliver this to the craft and see how much delta V we get. Because we're an hour and 45 minutes into the stream, and I still need to build a much more complex ship. So I think one of the things we learned is don't waste a lot of time on the rocket. When I get up to my apoapse, I'm going to burn. I've got 32 seconds in the tank. Right there, I can see this tank's going to burn for 32 seconds. We're going to need a little bit more than that, so I'm actually going to start at T-minus 20 I'm not making a node. I'm just going to burn when apoapsis is minus 20 seconds here. 22, 21, 20. Right there, I'm going to burn. This is a mainsail, by the way, so we should have ridiculous. How am I on inclination? Yeah, I even fixed my inclination. Good to go there. So let's burn this thing, and then I'm going to have to burn this stage a little bit as well. Let's make sure those are the right engines. We are good to go. Und then I go to space. So this entire stage is going to burn out. I'm trying to miss the planet. This is my insertion. Trying to get more orbital velocity so that when I start falling down, the planet curves away from me at the same rate that I fall towards the planet. Here's that stage done. There's my next stage. How am I doing? 122? Yeah, I'm good with that. 86, 45. There we go. I need to burn down a little bit so that my apoapsis doesn't go up like that. It's still going up. I need to burn down even more. Dude, Saul Ramos, thanks for the follow. Where am I at? 86, and I'm going down right now. Okay. There we go. 87. Why don't we just take it up to 90? Because I'll stabilize at 90. Yeah, close enough. 91. Whatever. Can I have a brief explanation of burning? How is it done and what is the purpose? What are you talking about? What's the question there? How is burning done and what is the purpose? I don't exactly understand what you're telling me. So let me know. Let me know. Use mainsails for RCS on the launch stage. The burn is done to stay in orbit. You're right. You're right. Did you correct me somewhat up there? Find the cause and correct the Clipper rocket. Actually, Tesla, that's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea. I could totally upload that. Dude, Saul Ramos, water lubber. Water lubber. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not suborbital now. But you are correct. Captain Gangplank also. What is this? Water lubber and Captain Gangplank. Are those alts? Those smell like alts to me. Those absolutely positively smell like alt accounts. DSD drop tank delivery. Wait, the simple docking craft is right there? What? It's just about time right now for us to do it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's do this on the fly. I'm not even going to use any nodes. Let's see if we can get this. Let's set that as my target. Our encounter is 19 kilometers right there. I can actually get to him. Look, he's right behind me. That's amazing. All I really need to do is make a home and transfer here. Is he going to get any closer to me? What's the closest going to be? 19.6. All I really need to do is basically roll my own home and transfer by burning retrograde right now. And let's see if I can lower my periaps down to his... What is that? 1918? Look at that! 11, 5, 11, 4, 3, 10, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1... What? Raider, Goo, and Thader had the idea. Thank you for repeating it then, Tesla Max. I haven't gone back to the chat. As teach. Teach! Teach when the purpose of saying his name is actually Koolman. That's actually not a bad idea, honestly. We already have a rendezvous with that. We rolled our own home and transfer, and we are good to go. Apparently, we're burning fuel out of that tank, so let's put the fuel back into that tank and turn it off. There we go. We've got... Yeah, there. Now we're good. Now we're good. All right. We're good to go. Is it scripted? The first music. First the music, now the everything. Yes. Yes. I'm like, where's my music? And the music turns on. And I was like, let me go and do a... Oh, wow. It's already time to do a home and transfer. The rocket blowing up the exact right number of times was also completely scripted. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy. This right here, 0.8 kilometers, is coming up. I'm actually just going to do the rendezvous. There we go. 5, 4, 3. Wait, what's the time? 9 minutes. While I'm not going to time warp, I'm just going to let this ride. You can see my target right there. You can't see it yet, but I'm just going to let this ride in screensaver mode, and I am going to... Records these, cuts, hyper edits, uncut, shows it as a stream. Yes. Yes, that is exactly what I did. We all plotted the donation train to try and break the script, but luckily, I did it exactly at the same time. Let's see here. Let's see what we've got. Houston, we have a problem. Okay, I'm going to check the chat. Give me a minute to check the chat here. That's right when it started crashing. DOS, call the accounting department and the insurance adjuster. Guys, remember, if you want to get my attention, use the word DOS, use the word question. I read everything that gets highlighted. Don't overuse it, though. You know, don't say DOS, 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 like constantly. You can still talk to each other as well. But if there's something that you want me to answer, a question you have or something like that, put DOS or put question in it. They will rise with the thrust center. A lot of ideas about fixing that. What direction should I build my rocket in the hangar? Up, Samsuni. Up. The fins helped me recover. Maybe they did. I think the fins might have helped me recover. Fins need speed for work. Yeah, we definitely got some spin. We spin stabilized it. Yep, that worked.